So the year was 1999. It was the eve of the end of the world. We all thought planes would be falling out of the sky, the internet would fail, and the real chaos, I'd lose access to my MySpace account. The real horror. You see, I was in my early 20s. I had the baggy jeans on, I had the Nokia phone, I had a big portable CD player, which could somehow fit in the back pocket of these big jeans. Now, there was a form of urgency in the air, but also a feeling of just doing. You know, you've been asked before, what would you do if you knew the world was going to end? Some would say, be around with the people I love, but also do the things you enjoy. And me in my early 20s, I loved playing video games. At some point, you guys love video games. See, Super Mario Brothers, for example. We loved that. You remember the song? Do-ding-ding-do-ding-ding. Ding, ding, ding. Sounds like a reggae tune. Ding, 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 ding. So that year, they announced the Sony PlayStation 2. Wow, amazing. Now, I love story-driven games. I love going to the village, talking to the villager, going on a quest, going back to the village, losing a quest. Pure adventure. And I could play these games on the new Sony PlayStation 2. The only problem was I couldn't afford it. Yes, sad. Very sad, sad face. But I thought to myself, normally I'd be like, sorry, Sony, I'm a student, can't afford it, goodbye. But that year, I felt, why can't I have this thing? But I needed a temporary job. So I went to the college library. I jumped on the internet, and I waited for it to load. The struggle was real back then. It was real. I searched on Yahoo, yes, Yahoo. I searched for student jobs, and in the reflection of this curved monitor, I can see my urgent eyes, urgently looking for jobs on the screen. This added to my feeling of urgency and irritation because it was still bloody loading. And then I finally saw it. I excitedly sat up, like the weight of the world or the weight of this huge monitor was lifted off my shoulders. It said, wanted video game testers. I was like, oh my gosh. So let me get this straight. So I can play video games, get money, and use the same money to buy video games. I truly understand what the circle of life means. The job description read, it will be a group interview where we'll be monitoring your skills for video game testing. I read the word group interview and my two butt cheeks grouped together. Not because I was excited, but because I was pretty much frustrated. You see, I'll tell you a story here. When I was in school, when the kids were picking kids for sports, I would always get picked last. Yes, true. I wasn't the obvious pick. See, I was the creative guy in the corner, drawing his pictures, writing his songs and poems, playing his Game Boy. So I wasn't the obvious pick. So now I felt like traumatized. You know, I didn't feel like applying for this job. But then I thought to myself, I am good at video games. And also it is this year, the end of the world. So I still applied for it. And, spoilers alert, I got the interview. Thank you. So there I was in this major video game company. I was so excited. I wanted to run ahead and grab these controllers and press all these buttons. But I looked around and there were no controllers, there were no games, there were nothing. Where are the games? They came and they handed us pieces of paper and they said, this will be a written interview where you have to tick boxes and check for patterns on a piece of paper. I was fooled. But fool me once, shame on you, video game company place. But I was still determined. So then we began. They gave us the paper. The clock was ticking. Well, I began ticking boxes, checking for patterns, the veins popping out of my head. And then after a while, we handed it in and we waited. I was that kid again. But then I knew I wanted this. They came back and they started calling out names. Choose me. James. Kai. Jeanette. Steve. Right now, my heart was in my mouth. Choose me. Sean. Now, okay, my hands are normally dry and I need cocoa butter, but this time I can feel the natural moist seeping through my palms. Choose me. And then, yow, I got selected. I was so happy. Now, they said the selected ones would have to get up and follow them for the next stage. Now, I did feel bad for leaving the others behind, but hey, you know, I've been there. Sorry, tough luck. So we followed them. I kept my expectations minimal because, you know, I've already been fooled. But what happened next, you would not believe. They walked us to a door and they said, thank you for taking part. Sorry you won't be going any further. Goodbye. I was like, what the fuck is this? They had walked us to the exit. We were the ones going home. I felt so stupid, but fool me twice, shame on me. So eventually I didn't get a part-time job and I couldn't afford the PlayStation 2. I felt like I failed this quest, some adventure this was. And a part of me wanted to shrink down small like Mario after taking a hit. But I thought to myself, no, why should I accept this game over? I'm gonna keep pressing that start button and carrying on. And I may drift off my path, but still I'll keep pressing continue until I succeed. And in the end, I did get a part-time job, and I managed to get the PlayStation 2. And also this creative side of mine, I decided to follow, and now I actually have the skills to create my own video game. Thank you very much. Thank you. So that day in the interview, I was fooled. I got knocked back, I got turned down. But I continued and I pursued. And you know what? I would have been a fool not to. Thank you very much.